shoo. You know how we get started? Because Lauren said, Wang looking good. That's how you know we get the party started. Hey, baby, how you doing? This is your host, Wang Newton. Just want to welcome everyone here. Such a warm, warm welcome. Even though we are far away, we can connect to each other in this way. So I want to thank you all for coming to the Chosen Family Law Center fundraiser. Woo! Now, wait. You guys at home, I need to see you guys, okay? I need to see a woo. Give me a woo! Yes. It's going to be a great night tonight. We have some wonderful speakers, wonderful intelligence here is so good. Just so you quickly know, for every new person coming in, we are going to muting the microphone first. If you want to speak, you better woo! And, we are going to be recorded. So later on, however, we have the breakout sessions for private conversations, and those will not be recorded. So just want to let you know. My goodness. The LGBTQ community really is just so lucky to have Diana Adams and this whole Chosen Family Law Center, because there are many different kinds of relationships and many different ways in which we love. So tonight, we're going to hear from number one speakers. We're going to have a short discussion, and then we're going to have just number one together time. Are you ready for that, baby? I can't hear you, so I'm gonna have to see you. Jayo. Oh, I'm gonna have to wangify. I'm ready. Jayo, for those who are not ready to come into Wang's world and be Chinese, means pumping gas. Go. Is how we root the people on in game shows. All right, tonight is a fantastic fundraiser. 75% of the monies will go to an earmark for BIPOC clients. 75%, baby. And currently we have a little over 7,000. So we only need 5K more. If we reach this number one goal, it will be matched by generous backers. Possibly Daddy Wang bucks. I don't know. I'll talk to my accountant. If we have any pledges, come on, we're gonna shouting you out, okay? Shouting you out. Oh my goodness. So, without further ado, I want to start this great evening. I am Wang. My pronouns are Wang and Wang. And however, our first boss lady is Diana Adams, and she is a personal number one. She is the founder and executive director of the Chosen Family Law Center. Pardon me. She's an activist and advocate for polyamorous families and non-traditional family structures. She's a thought leader on LGBTQIA issues and the future of family structure. She's also the founder of Diana Adams Law and Mediation, a boutique LGBTQ family law and mediation firm based in New York City and Frankfurt, Germany. Please, without further ado, baby. I call everyone baby.
Wang has special permission to call me baby. Thank you so much, Wang, and thank you for being with us. And thank you so much to everybody. As founder and executive director of Chosen Family Law Center, this first launch event is a dream. I had hoped we were all together right now with celebration of music and cocktails, but I will take this kind of connection, which brings together even more people from around the world. We started Chosen Family Law Center as a dream a decade ago for me. As a family law attorney in New York with a small firm focusing on LGBTQI family law and family formation, I saw a gap and discussed this gap often with my colleagues in nonprofit legal services for LGBTQIA families. There was support, limited support, but some support for same-sex partnerships and nuclear couples, those same-sex couples seeking marriage and nuclear family. And that support is always part of our core mission and part of our core work at my law firm and at Chosen Family Law Center. But as a polyamorous, bisexual, gender non-binary type of queer, My family and many of the families in my community did not fit into that definition. And Chosen Family Law Center was formed as a support for all those other types of queer and LGBTQIA families. I received countless inquiries at our law firm from anxious people needing legal help over the past decade with no referral to which I could send them if they were polyamorous, if they were in platonic co-parenting relationships, and they needed a pro bono referral. I saw a need for these families to get legal support. And so with the collaboration of many of you here, Chosen Family Law Center was born. And Chosen Family Law Center supports all those who hope to create family beyond that traditional model of a romantic dyad of monogamous two, and particularly beyond the heterosexual monogamous dyad of two, including same-sex partners, but also polyamorous families with more than two partners, platonic co-parents who build family based on a co-parenting family commitment rather than romance, platonic co-parents, multi-parent families, such as a polyamorous triad, or perhaps a female same-sex couple with an involved dad rather than a sperm donor, partnership based on caretaking for an elder or disabled family member, and the many other ways we create queer kinship and chosen family. My personal definition of family is people who share a bond of loyalty to provide to one another with love, compassion, support, interdependence, without expectation of payment or anything in return other than mutual fidelity and family connection. That none of that requires blood relation or marriage. The concept of family used to be limited to blood relatives, what we now call family of origin or biofamily. But there is a societal trend toward people choosing family relationships with intention, even if you lack genetic connection, which we often call chosen family. There are many more of us now. And this is related to a legal trend toward recognizing parental relationships based on those who intend to be a parent and take on the role of parent, as opposed to those who provide the sperm, the egg, or the womb. So many LGBTQ people are still rejected by their families of origin, and we need to acknowledge that. Or they just don't find their closest kinship there. I didn't. And our community has a beautiful tradition of taking each other in. As I've personally taken in queer youth runaways and created decades-long family relationships with them. We, as LGBTQI people, create family with each other often by finding a kindred spirit, by building trust, and by declaring that family relationship and then making it so. Those family bonds deserve legal support and stability as well. If we want to visit each other in the hospital, make medical or financial decisions for each other, provide for each other at a time of death, making sure that you can't be legally separated in those crucial life moments because you don't share the same last name. So as we deserve choice in our reproductive decisions and bodily autonomy, the way we identify and present ourselves to the world in terms of our gender, our relationships, we deserve to be able to choose our family. And that's a core value of Chosen Family Law Center. At Chosen Family Law Center, we provide legal services to those in the LGBTQIA community who are most marginalized beyond on family structure issues, such as those who are transgender, non-binary, or gender non-conforming, such as LGBTQ asylees who are fleeing persecution in other countries. And there's extra marginalization on all of those issues of our work for those people who are, as Wang said, BIPOC, for Black, Indigenous, or people of color. And in recognition of that, our current fundraiser this month, as Wang mentioned, has 75% of funds earmarked for BIPOC clients. So briefly, our core projects at Chosen Family Law Center include the Trans Umbrella Project, which is intended as a protective umbrella for people who are trans, gender non-binary, or gender non-conforming, which includes name and gender marker change support, but also unique to Chosen Family Law Center, also advanced directive and relationship protection documents. We also have the Parentage Protection Project to protect the rights of non-biological parents, such as the non-bio parent in a same-sex couple, by ensuring a valid sperm donor agreement is in place or an adoption. We also do the Platonic Parenting Project and our Polyamorous Families Project to ensure that these families have valid co-parenting agreements and other estate planning documents to keep these families together, as well as the Asylee Assistance Project for those who've been granted asylum based on LGBTQ persecution in other countries to get their lengthy immigration adjustment of status paperwork to get their green card to stay safely in the US. So I'm delighted to present more about the organization. I'm delighted to have all of you here with us tonight. And I know that our Senior Legal Director, Andy Izenson, will speak more about our work in a minute, but first I want to introduce and acknowledge our Director of Operations, Amy LeBlanc, without whom none of this work would be possible, because she is the czarina of finances, logistics, nonprofit compliance, and client tracking, And I had vision, but without her support for several years of nonprofit filing paperwork, we would not be a 501c3 right now and able to give you a tax deduction. So thank you so much, Amy, for being with us. And I want you to be able to say a few words.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Diana. I'm really happy about this event, even though it's not in person and no one can see the glorious bottom halves of our outfits. And I want to thank everyone, all of my friends and colleagues who I can see on the guest list for joining us and supporting us for the last, 2.5 years that we've been launching this, and gotten a lot of support from our community, which is also a chosen family thing. We feel really supported, and I'm really happy that everyone's here, and I look forward to hearing everyone talk about our work and how it means to everyone who's here tonight so that we can celebrate. Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you, baby. I appreciate you being such a #1 leader. But also, you know what, Diana? I know you love giving free consultation advice as a lawyer. Even if people chasing you into the bathroom, you are just there for everyone all the time, 24/7. So I must asking you, Wang is a traditional kind of guy, okay? Just gonna take a second of everyone's time. So I don't know about this whole new fandangled, polyamory and stuff. Because I'm a traditional kind of guy. So I want to ask you, what should I do? What should a Wang do in regards to prenup with like a concubine number 5 or something? I have concubines, this old tradition, old Chinese tradition. Oh, hey, baby. Oh, hey, baby. Pardon me. Just bothering the guests here in our little room here, our little Zoom room. Whoo!
Good old Wang.
Okay.
That is exactly the kind of question I get chased into restrooms to be asked. How to do a prenup with your 5th concubine. So that's exactly on brand for the kinds of things I get chased in the bathrooms about.
You know how we do, baby. Okay. I'm jokes, guys. So this is Miss Orchid May, and we all want to tell you about our next speaker, Andy Izenson, them, Senior Legal Director of Chosen Family Law Center, leading attorney for servicing clients in New York. This attorney, mediator, and restorative and transformative justice practitioner is the president of the New York City chapter of the National Lawyers Guild, the leading protest support for NYC for recent Black Lives Matter events, Jayo, and as well as queer events. Baby, without further ado, I'm so proud to announcing our next speaker, Andy Izenson. Yes.
Thank you, Wang. I also want to thank Amy, without whom not only would we not be a nonprofit, but I probably would have starved to death by accident by now. So we're so grateful for everything that Amy does. And I also want to thank Diana for bringing me along on this ride. We've been working together every day for like 10 years now. And I don't know where I'd be if you hadn't decided you wanted me around. So I'm going to be grateful to you for the rest of my life.
Well, thank you, Andy. It was a great decision.
So I want to talk a little bit about the Polyfamilies Project, because it's one of the things that really sets us apart from other organizations. I look like a ghost. Give me a second. That's a little better. Now I have a face. So the Polyfamilies Project is one of the things that makes the Chosen Family Law Center a little bit different than other organizations, because it's specifically offering services to families that are not otherwise able to get them. So it's one of the reasons that we founded CFLC. This is what makes us unique. This is what no other organization is doing, partially because no other org has the experience to do it, but also because no other org recognizes this as an important issue. And that's one of the things that just makes me seeing so many people in the participants list at this event. I'm just so over the moon about it, because it means that you're also seeing what we're doing and thinking that it's important and valuable. So what that work is that a lot of families who are shaped in such a way that that the state can't recognize them, they can't afford the legal work that they would need to protect those connections. And that's legal work that families that are shaped in a socially sanctioned way don't actually need that support. So needing the support in order to access the basic societal functions of family relationships is a problem that people who live in socially sanctioned ways don't even know is a problem. They take their ability to do that for granted. So being able to visit your partner in the hospital, knowing that your parentage is safe, having secure housing or family-based parentage status, things that people in socially sanctioned family structures take for granted, they're things that our families and our clients' families need extensive and expensive support to be able to access. So these are the families that are the least likely to be able to afford private attorneys. So these are polyamory issues, they're queer issues, they're economic justice issues, and we don't want the difference between who can secure their family relationships and who can't to be who has money versus who doesn't, or just based on the shape of your family. So that's what we're doing here. So one of the things that we're super excited about this week, I don't know if you all saw, but there's some big news out of Somerville, Massachusetts. They just passed this new regulation that permits domestic partnerships that allow more than 2 people. We're really excited about that, and it's a step towards the removal of state barriers from family creation. And the thing that I find really exciting about it is that when you read about how it happened, it's really cool. This one advocate, JT Scott, went to the person that was drafting the new domestic partnership legislation and said, hey, why does this have to be only 2 people? And then the drafter took the question seriously and thought about it and realized there's no reason. And boom, that's how it happens. Someone just having the courage to ask, why does it have to be this way? And now everyone in every town in every state can look at Somerville and say, yeah, actually, why does it have to be that way? And a little more space is opened up in the world, and we'll be here to help it along. So every time someone comes to us at the Poly Families Project, and really in all of our projects, we know that they're taking a big leap of faith, because we live in a world that tells us every day that society is not for people like us. Legal services are not for people like us. The benefits of having a family are not for people like us. And our clients are coming to us and saying they want to create something that they've never seen. And every time we get to help them to do it, it opens up a little more space for the next family, and then a little more, and then a little more. And bit by bit, our clients are building the world around them that they want to live in. And when you give support to the Chosen Family Law Center, you're helping us hand them the building blocks to do it. So we're so grateful for the support that you're giving us tonight, whether you're helping us host, sending money, sending referrals, or just showing up and letting us know that you think what we're doing is worthwhile. The 3 of us have been doing this work for so many years on top of our regular jobs. And the fact that we're on the verge of getting to a place where doing the thing that we love can be our regular jobs is so exciting, and we're just so thankful.
Yeah, baby. Ooh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Baby, thank you so much, Andy. Your support is very important, and I have another guest for you, okay? Kylar Broadus. Him, transgender icon, activist, writer, lawyer, professor, speaker, founder and director of the Trans People of Color Coalition, the only national organization dedicated to the civil rights of transgender people of color. Baby. Woohoo! A woohoo. We need a woohoo, okay? Woohoo! Don't forget. Everyone on the screens, yes. has been honored by the GLAD Awards, the Advocate, Out Magazine, LGBT Bar Association of LA, the Task Force National Conference of LGBT Equality, and many, many others. Please welcome this the #1 gentleman, Kylar, Broadus.
Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? I'm here tonight and I'm glad to be here with you all. Great speech, Andy, and everybody. And thanks for the lovely introduction. I love you two over there. You look fabulous, fabulous, and you sound fabulous. This is a fabulous event to be at. Thank you, Diana, also. And you look lovely as well. So I get to say that about a beautiful woman tonight. Wow, I'm excited. So thank you for letting me collaborate with you guys. I'm all about saving lives and providing structures for families not to be mistreated in anywhere, but particularly where we are. There's no reason for it, and it shouldn't be happening. I'm here to just talk to you a little bit about how trans people are treated in this country. And people forget that I don't speak for everybody, but people want to just pigeonhole me about talking about trans people of color. And that's just an area I've decided to focus in for the last few years. But I'm just going to give you stats about trans people being impacted in general, which is part of the body of work that I do. And just to know that the pervasive violence and discrimination that happens against trans people in general is so horrific that we sort of tend to forget because there's more visibility of trans people than ever before. But with that hand of visibility comes a lot of hate that people that don't understand or do understand exhibit against us as trans people. And it's trans people of all forms. We see it more in Black trans women, but it happens to all trans people. And I want to remind all trans people that we have to protect our safety as well. But we do see in the news, it's a lot more about Black trans women, but bodies of everybody's surface. And sadly, I've been around long enough to see that. So I just want you to understand that. But from the trans survey, and I've been a part of the 2 national surveys that have been done, and that's not enough on us to see what happens to us in all forms, and even in the way Andy was speaking early. We just don't have that data, and we need to do more work. But real quickly, 8% of people were kicked out of their, were out to their families. That's not a large number of trans people being out to their family. We need more family involvement and family stability for our trans people in whatever way that comes from. 54% were verbally abused, or 24% physically attacked when people know we're trans, and 13% sexually assaulted in general. And I'm losing a little light over here. The sun's going down on me here. 13% sexually assaulted. And hold on one second, there we go. And then 30% who had jobs lost jobs. This goes on more than we know because trans people's lives are less visible and less talked about than we know. We hear the kudo, the great things, but we don't always hear the bad things. But it's some of us that do hear them every day and see them every day come across our desk. And so that's the reason to support this organization and other organizations that do this work, because trans people still need you, as well as the rest of the group that need you. But we really need you to help us so that our trans children aren't a threat at being in the slave market. And so our adults have stable families. So I just want to thank you, and thank you all for being here at this lovely event. And thank you for having me just to talk a few minutes about trans people and what we still need to do, because our movement is a little bit behind. I've been in all the movements and all the letters of the main movement, but our movement is still very much behind, and we need you, and this group needs you. So thank you very much for letting me jump on and talk with you this evening and see the beautifulness, as well as talk to you about the things that we have to do but we must also enjoy ourselves and take care of ourselves as we do this work. So thank you and enjoy your evening. You guys look lovely and fabulous.
Thank you, Mr. Broadus. Thank you, baby.
Thank you. And I like those kisses back. Thank you. Especially through the screen.
You may feel a little behind in this movement, but have you ever had a Wang behind you? I support you all fully, baby. Jayo. Our next speaker is Elena Vera. Very excited to introduce her. Executive Director of Trans Lifeline, a grassroots hotline and microgrants nonprofit organization offering direct emotional and financial support for trans people in crisis. She's also a longtime organizer, educator, performing artist, and reverend. Okay, we may get married. I don't know. I'll call you later. Okay, presenting Elena Vera.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you to everyone at the Chosen Family Law Center for having me here. It's still a hot summer afternoon out here on the West Coast, so I'm not as fancy as the rest of you, but it's really good to see you all. And I want to talk some about the Chosen Family Law Center's work, and particularly the Trans Umbrella Project, and why it's so powerful and important. You know, one thing that I think is true for a lot of us is that most of us aren't legal experts. And things like helping with legal paperwork can feel a little abstract, but there's nothing abstract about it. One thing that Trans Lifeline's microgrants program and CFLC's Trans Umbrella Project share is that we help fund things like ID changes. And the reason that that's so important is that ID changes are a one-time intervention in trans people's lives that can make an enormous difference in the material conditions of our lives. So, for instance, if you have the wrong ID, if you have the wrong legal status, it makes everyday activities like going to the grocery store potentially traumatic and dangerous, which has a serious impact on trans people's health and well-being. And it exposes us to harm like being accused of identity theft or fraud just for using our own legal identification, for just claiming we are who we say we are. And more than that, having the correct ID can help trans people access housing, medical care, economic support services, food services, and more. There are so many things we can be shut out of if our ID doesn't match who we are. And so it can make a huge difference for trans people's ability to access the kind of material, concrete change that means not just surviving, but thriving, right? It's a way to change our lives across the board. It even affects our participation in civil society, right? If you have the wrong ID, you can be denied the vote or participation in the census. These are basic places where we're supposed to be able to have a voice in our own government. They're basic organs of democracy, and they're a really important way for us to get a say in shaping this society and its future, for us to put our voices in and our hands in to get to shape a society that has a place for us, and services and policies that treat us like full human beings. Having the right ID helps us get access to that. It helps us get to demand a place in the story of the future and in the world we're building together. More than anything, trans people need more than visibility or affirmation, right? It's not just about feelings. We need food and medicine and housing and civil rights and the chance to do safe and fulfilling work, to make families and communities, to make lives we want more of. And nothing has a greater effect on our mental, emotional, and physical health than the material conditions of our lives. So helping a trans person out with getting the right legal ID and paperwork, it's a small way to make a big difference in our circumstances. It's an intervention that can help us navigate huge, complicated systems that most of us don't have specialist training in, and come out with better chances at building these lives that we deserve, that we need. And I know this personally. One of the reasons I was so excited to join in tonight and talk about this is that 15 years ago, when I was earlier in my own transition, I was broke and I couldn't get work or medical care, and I struggled to access basic resources. And a local legal aid group helped me get my ID paperwork in order. It was a dizzying amount of paperwork and a pile of fees, and they took my hand and brought me through it. And that made a huge difference in my life. It made so many things possible for me. So I'm so proud to work for an organization that offers that kind of help to our trans family around North America. And I'm so proud to join with the Chosen Family Law Center tonight and support their work offering that aid to so many of our people. It's an honor to be there for our people and to change how their lives fit together, how they get to participate in basic public life. And I'm so grateful for everyone at CFLC who's doing this work to make our lives more possible, and to make them more whole. So thank you to all of you. I encourage all of you to support this work. And it's an honor to serve our people. And I hope you will all join us in working together on that.
Yes, thank you so much, Elena. Thank you. Beautiful, well said. I concur. Oh, I'm cry. Oh, look at that. The same color as your whole theme there, Elena. Not insinuating anything. Not insinuating, baby. Just saying, we're matching. We're matching. Baby, we have the exciting next for you. I'm going to actually bring it back to our number one. Okay. Diana and please give us your wisdom. We want to honor our ancestors.
I just want to really appreciate Elena for being with us and for sharing that. I think it's just so essential that we really get grounded and rooted in the actual experiences of the people that we're serving, and that many of us who are doing this work live through experiences like that. So I am just so grateful and honored to partner with you and with Trans Lifeline, which is an organization I've looked up to for so long. So thank you. And Andy and I want to talk a little bit about the Trans Umbrella Project and the work that we do with that. Andy, do you want to say a few words about that?
So there's something that makes the Trans Umbrella, so there's a couple of organizations that do name and identity document changes. You know, the need is enormous. And so it's not like there's a problem with having a little redundancy, because there will always be more trans kids that need their documents done. But there's one thing that we do that none of the other organizations do that I think is really important. And basically it's about advanced directive documents and agency documents for in case of emergency or in case of illness or injury or accident. And you know, right now when everybody's health is really at the top of their minds, it's something that I've been pushing everyone to pay attention to for a long time. And it's really scary and kind of boring at the same time. So it's very hard to get people to pay attention to it. But basically, it's about documents that are a way of preserving your agency and protecting your family connections and your own medical desires. And specifically, your needs around gender-related healthcare, and names and pronouns and everything like that in the event that you are injured or ill and unable to advocate for yourself in the moment. It's about preserving your family connections, making sure that your people can visit you in the hospital and can make decisions for you if that's necessary. And doing that work pro bono in a way that's not only competent around trans and gender nonconforming clients' needs, but also the needs of people who are in non-traditional or socially unsanctioned relationships. People who are in polyamorous or non-traditional families need particular work around their advanced directives, and that's something that I'm really excited to do, and I'm really excited to be able to do through the Trans Umbrella Project at the Chosen Family Law Center. So we called it the Trans Umbrella Project because when there are storms, you don't just need one spoke of an umbrella, you need a whole set of spokes, a whole bunch of different things. And so when the storm comes, we want to cover our communities. And so that means not just one kind of help, but a whole range of stuff. So we're really happy to do a whole range of stuff. And it's something that we're really just honored to be working with our volunteer attorney, Bill Singer, with. And I think Diana is going to introduce Bill.
Yes. So really excited to give our first awards to people we value really dearly in the Chosen Family Law Center family. And we're calling this the Thanks for Being Our Family Award, which we want to give to Bill Singer and to Betty Rear. And so first I want to talk about Bill. I love to talk about how much I love Bill, and I take every chance I can get. Bill has been in the practice of LGBTQ family law since that was a thing, is arguably the founder of that field and was a major support to gay men in the AIDS crisis with those kinds of advanced directives to keep people connected, and has been in the practice of family law for, last I checked, 48 years, but that may have ticked up. So I have known of Bill's work, and Bill's been a legend and a mentor to me for many years from the beginning of my work. And so to be able to work with Bill and get Bill's support is absolutely incredible and amazing. And one thing I think is particularly incredible about Bill is that Bill embodies understanding the solidarity between the different aspects of our movement, the different letters in the LGBTQIA continuum. And after years of advocacy and support for gay male couples, and then for other people in the world of same-sex couples, and now I see Bill as really a leader in transgender advocacy. And I think that's just incredibly special. So Bill is basically the volunteer arm of, for New Jersey, of Chosen Family Law Center. Our New Jersey Trans Umbrella Project cases go to Bill, and Bill handles them pro bono. And Bill has done hundreds and hundreds of hours of work already just for that, besides his own busy casework, and besides the fact that he does all this other pro bono work for other places like legal services. So Bill just does incredible work. And on behalf of Chosen Family Law Center, has really had some groundbreaking advocacy, not just culturally competent and warm and loving and sparkle in his eye advocacy, but groundbreaking and aggressive advocacy on behalf of our clients for privacy and waivers of publication for name change. You may not realize it, but when you get your name changed, you may need to have that published in a newspaper. Well, think about all of the violence and harassment and discrimination that people face as transgender people already. And whether you would really want to, if you were a transgender person, have your name listed in the paper and have that something that's public, something that maybe a future employer could look up, something that people in your family who have been abusive to you could find out. So on behalf of one client who was abused by her father, Bill was able to get the publication waived so that that client could have privacy and not have the new name listed publicly in terms of publication. And on behalf of another one who lived in a rural county and really did not want the entire local newspaper to find out about that name change, Bill was able to do that in Chosen Family Law Center's name. And we are so incredibly grateful. So I want to say thank you for being part of our family, Bill.
Oh, you're very welcome. I also want to say one of the things I'm working on is getting the whole record sealed, not just the publication way, but getting the record sealed. We can do that pretty easily for juvenile, but for adults, it's a new development, and there's no reason why anyone court proceeding to change their name and their gender marker needs to be public. And so I just won a case in Colorado, and we've done that in New Jersey for adults, and that's really important. You know, I find it interesting, the term chosen family, because I remember back in the 1980s and 1990s trying to convince a judge that a child could have two parents of the same gender, because they had no legally sanctioned relationship. They couldn't be in a domestic partnership. Those things didn't exist. They couldn't be married. That didn't exist. And judges would say, no, a child can't have two parents of the same gender. And, you know, finally we got judges to agree to that. And you know, so that was chosen family. And the whole concept of chosen family is just evolving in a wonderful way. And I'm really thankful to Diana and Andy and Amy for all the work that they're doing and having and including me in it as well. Thank you both. All three of you, excuse me.
So much, Bill. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to collaborate with you in so many ways and with this whole team. And I want to also now give an award to Betty Rear. If you want to put your camera on, Betty, you're welcome to. You don't have to. You don't have to say a word if you don't want to. Betty is absolutely incredible as the executive director of the NJ Rear LGBT Fund. And through that fund, which is in honor of Betty's late husband, Jack, the fund covers all of those client fees from court filing fees and other fees for Bill's New Jersey Trans Umbrella Project cases. So keep in mind that the average fees on these cases are $250 per case. That's a lot for our organization and moreover for these clients. So Betty's fund alone has covered over a dozen different sets of client fees already, with many more already allotted. So we're just incredibly grateful and want to acknowledge that that kind of contribution and that kind of very specific contribution is a measurable way to make change in the lives of extremely marginalized people. That's over a dozen more people who feel a tremendous amount more honored by our incredibly compassionate and generous support, honored that even the fees are waived in addition to all the pro bono lawyer work from a top international advocate like Bill. And we're just so grateful. Also, I have a soft spot for Betty because she has the same birthday as my late mom. So I feel a special chosen family bond. So I just want to say thank you for being part of our family, Betty. We're so grateful.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the hard work and the
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Betty. Thank you, Mr. Bill. All the heart, all the years of that heart, just giving and working on our behalf. So thank you so much, baby. Oh, wow. It has been so good hearing from everyone. Thank you for your donations. Please keep them coming in. Ask your friends. But first, would you like to get a little bit more intimate? Anne-Marie from Grey Horse is going to put us in, breakout rooms so we could all get a little bit more intimate and talk and be, friends. Anne-Marie?
I'm so glad to see faces again. This is so nice, seeing so many faces of people I know from all over the place. Even more than could be at one cocktail party in New York City. So that's really beautiful. I'm grateful for all that. Thank you for being with us.
True. That's true, baby.
Oh, crap. Sorry.
And yes, a lot of people do look a bit fluffier than they did last time I saw them. A lot of people are letting the hair grow out, which is great. I'm doing the opposite. I'm getting the quarantine family shave. As we have everybody back, I think we're going to turn straight to Matt Dos Santos. Oh, I'm excited is here because Matt is actually one of my chosen family members, and the dog is my soul, and dear friend from law school who has an epic shadow game right now.
Are we ready for you, Matt?
Yes.
Everyone, I want to welcome you all back. The party's still going. We have a great #1 cause for you from the Chosen Family Law Center. Baby, let me tell you about Matt Dos Santos. They, them, managing attorney at Our Children's Trust, a nonprofit public interest law firm that provides strategic campaign-based legal services to youth from diverse backgrounds to secure their legal rights to a safe climate. Currently, they are on the Chosen Family Law Center's board of directors. Yes. Okay, Matt. Also, they're on the board of Transgender Law Center and the Latino Network. Previously served as a legal director at the, at the ACLU of Oregon. Senor Matt Dos Santos.
Thank you so much, Wang. I have never had a better introduction. I'm so grateful for you. And Andy, I haven't had a chance to tell you this, but this year I recently decided that there was a good way to remind people of my pronouns. Just put them on your fists. So thanks for that inspiration, Andy. I've been waiting to tell you that. I was hoping to tell you in person. So hello, thank you. For those of you on the East Coast, thanks for hanging in with us. And for around the world, thank you so much to Diana, who is up at probably like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I don't know what time it is in Frankfurt. Thank you for being here with us.
2 a.m.
Oh gosh, I'll keep this quick. And thank you for joining us tonight to learn about the important work that the Chosen Family Law Center, its amazing staff, and incredible volunteers like Bill Singer are doing for us every single day. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Matt Dos Santos, and as Wang just said, I'm on Chosen Family Law Center's board of directors, and I couldn't be more proud. I met Diana, nearly 20 years ago. Sorry to out our age, Diana. When we were both law students and queer babies, basically, just like really eager to figure out our place in the world. And we were so incredibly lucky to find each other and to find community. And I know that I'm here tonight because I know firsthand just how important our queer families are and how incredibly vital it is that we protect each other. I don't need to repeat, and actually, frankly, just won't repeat the litany of attacks from the Trump administration. We don't have enough time, and if you're like me, you're exhausted from all of the bad news that we hear every day. But I do want to tell you about some of the good news, and to ask you for your money to support Chosen Family Law Center as they continue to make good news for clients like Michael. You heard a little bit about Michael. Michael, by the way, is a pseudonym I'm using for this client because of, for reasons that you'll soon understand. But Michael is a trans man living in rural county in southern New Jersey. Yes, there are rural counties in New Jersey. The population of the county is tiny. Everyone knows everybody else. And Michael came to Chosen Family Law Center to ask for help with his name change on his birth certificate in order to align with his gender identity. And Michael was afraid, right? Because New Jersey law requires that all name changes be published not once, but twice in a local paper, once before judgment is entered, and then again after the judgment is entered. For some people, these legal ads aren't a big deal. But like who even reads legal ads? Who even reads newspapers anymore? But in the county where Michael resides, the local paper is still a vital part of their community and is widely read. So, Michael was afraid, and rightfully so. He feared the community knowing of his gender alignment and name change, and becoming a target of harassment or violence. And because the proceeding would be a public record, someone like potential employers could do an internet search and find out that Michael was transgender. Chosen Family Law Center stepped in and represented Michael for free and successfully argued that the court should change its rules to protect Michael from harm, that the state of New Jersey had a responsibility under the New Jersey Constitution to keep members of the public safe, and that the judge had the right to essentially adjust the rules for people like Michael. Frankly, this wouldn't be possible without Chosen Family Law Center's help. And with Chosen Family Law Center, Michael won his case. The judge granted the waiver of publication, and I think as Bill was talking about, in some instances is seeking to have the record sealed. This result was groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking in New Jersey, and it will make it easier for other adults like Michael to change their name to align with their gender identity. So when you donate to Chosen Family Law Center tonight, you support the tremendous work that went into Michael's groundbreaking case. And because I know how tough it is out there right now, I want to share with you some numbers. Every dollar donated tonight, from $20 to $20,000, is life-changing. In the midst of a global pandemic, right, Chosen Family Law Center's work is more important than ever, and we need your help to sustain it. Our goal tonight is to raise $12,000, and we're super close. We need to raise like $4,000 more or something like that. It's like it's going up, and I'm so happy to see it going up already. So please join me in donating what you can tonight. I'm already a monthly contributor to Chosen Family Law Center, but I'm going to stretch tonight and donate a little bit extra because I know how important this is. So I'm going to give you some specific numbers now and tell you a little bit about what a donation in that amount could support. I'm also going to invite you to donate using the Fundly link in the chat, and to please just let us know if you've donated in the chat so that we can acknowledge and thank you for your support. And I just want to remind people that through a couple of really generous donations, our funds raised tonight will be matched. So you're doubling your money for anything you donate tonight, and 75% of tonight's funds will be earmarked to support the BIPOC community. In Wang, honoring a Wang fashion, are you ready? Give me a woo woo. So first up, I'm asking for a huge donation and to see if anybody can donate $7,000 tonight. $7,000 helps an LGBTQ+ immigrant who has successfully pled their asylum case to stay in the United States safely. Because even after they win their asylum case, they could be deported to danger without a green card. So $7,000 can make a huge difference in keeping someone and their families safe. And we're asking that as to see if anybody can dig deep and donate that amount. This is the awkward silence part as I wait. Come on, $7,000. I wish I could donate $7,000. If I could donate $7,000, I would totally do it. Okay, so I'm going to keep going so people can hear about the other incredible work that happens and what your donations support. So the next donation amount that I'm asking is if anybody can donate $2,500. $2,500 pays for vital documents for partners as they determine their end-of-life wishes and how to support their chosen families after they have died. It's something that Andy touched on a little bit and is so incredibly important to us, and we just don't want to think about it. And having that support, having someone like Andy or Diana or Bill help you through that process is truly life-changing, and it's generational, and that's how we protect ourselves. So giving people opportunity. Also, thank you so much. It looks like we've gotten some donations coming in, several really incredible donations. Thank you so much. Kate, Barbara, Kevin, Adam. I'm going to keep thanking you, but thank you. Okay, so the next donation amount is, can anyone donate $1,000? $1,000 pays for a valid legal sperm or egg donor agreement, a critical document necessary to protect the relationship between a child and their non-biological parent in many states. This kind of document has been essential over the years in protecting the children of queer families, and it's so incredibly important. And also, if I have firsthand seen during the time that I worked for the National Center for Lesbian Rights, that these documents, if they are done badly, it is a mess. And it is so scary, and it is so, so important that we have somebody who knows what they're doing do this work. It looks like we have more donations coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney, for donating. Thank you, Jonathan. So incredible. And
I just made a pledge. Maddie Namer.
Yay!
Love you, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie. Also part of my chosen family. Thank you.
It was actually the Space Cat, but I'll take the credit.
Space Cat and Maddie.
I love that, Space Cat, Maddie. I appreciate you. And can anybody join me in donating $250 tonight? That's what I'm going to be able to do tonight. And what $250 pays is the filing fees for name and gender marker changes for transgender or gender nonconforming or non-binary person on critical identity documents, providing them with greater safety and security and access to employment, travel, and housing, things that you've heard shared throughout tonight as being critically important. So just extending that invitation one last time. So thank you for bearing with me as I went through that list. If you're, like I said, if you're like me, supporting this work is critical, but it's easier for me to donate every month through a sustaining donation. If you'd like to make a recurring gift to Chosen Family Law Center, you can do so on their website. But thank you so much for your generosity of time and money tonight. If you enjoyed tonight, and we're getting close to ending this, which is sad for me, but if you enjoyed tonight, just imagine how much fun this will be when we can do it together, live and in person, with a fabulous event in New York City next year. Of course, only if, having a live event is safe for us and our families. But I, for one, I didn't tell you this, I'm in Portland, Oregon right now, but I cannot wait to be in New York City with all of you again soon. And please stay tuned, because Chosen Family Law Center is going to be honored on Broadway for New York City Pride Weekend, which has been postponed to about winter of 2021. So, a few more months out, I think, with a benefit by John Cameron Mitchell, which is just incredible. So you don't want to miss that or any of these other amazing things going on at Chosen Family Law Center. So please make sure you are on the email list and following us on social media so we can stay in touch with you. And thank you for listening to me tonight and letting me share a little bit about my love for this work with you.
Yes, baby, Matt, thank you so much. Wow, you broke it down. We know exactly where the money's going to. You are such a saint. Can I call you Tres Santos? Oh my goodness. This one over here. I love it. I love it. This has been such a great night, but I want to just thank you, everyone. But real quick, if we all meet, do we have to wear pants? I'm just saying, Anne-Marie wants to see pants. I want to be open-minded, because this is an open-mind kind of crew, We got the LGBTQIA. Yes? Are there more Wang sexuals here now? Wang sexuals? I want to thank everyone for coming. Hello. Oh, sorry, baby. So I want to thank everyone, okay? All of our speakers. Andy, of course, part of the crew. Kylar Broadus, Elena Vera. We also have, of course, our last speaker, Matt Dos Santos. But Diana, baby, do you want to come on the microphone and just giving the group hug? How can we?
Yeah.
Love to everyone. Donation.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have this event and share this with more people and to be able to do this. And I look forward to when we can be in person. And the good news is it was an incredible honor to be chosen to be receiving that benefit on Pride Weekend in New York City, which was supposed to be this June. And we were going to be honored on Broadway as one of the Broadway benefit nights. And that's absolutely incredible. And that's still going to happen. It's just going to happen in Winter Pride. And in Winter Pride, things will be cold. So being inside on Broadway will be great. So that is an event with John Cameron Mitchell. I'm going to try to have like a sequin rainbow genderless tuxedo. I think that's going to be beautiful. And we can actually be in person, even if socially distanced. So I hope that you'll join us for that. And I hope that, I think that is also a really good indicator of the way that we're on a wonderful upward spiral and have some really good news happening, which we all need right now. I'm so grateful for all of the support. We have just about $2,750 left for our goal, which we'll try to make up over the next couple of days so that we can get our full matching grant. And thank you so much for getting us so far at this event. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you. Thank you for being Worldwide Chosen Family and support. Thank you. Thank you for being Chosen Family worldwide in support of our community who needs it. Thank you.